Hello, I'm Gandair of the gaming clan Vato Clan, and very shortly here, we will be going into Game 2 of the finals of the LoLPro Dominion Showdown. Now, keep in mind, these pages that I've been putting on the screen were sort of hastily made up over the last day or so, just so I could have some basic things to show to you guys that don't necessarily know a lot of things about Dominion. Any new viewers out there that are curious, I wanted to make these for you so you could learn a little bit about everything. And I couldn't fit all the top bands. I wanted to produce the top 10 bands. I could only fit 6. The Vision, I couldn't fit all the things that give Vision. Those are the most popular Vision items in the game. I missed Maokai saplings, Zyra plants, Caitlyn traps. Those are the other things that I think see the most additional use, other than what is listed on that page. This is Kha'Zix Child Sports win record, and some of the information about them being the top team. And they're approaching 300 total games, 300 total games played, which is pretty awesome. And they once had a 17-week first-place win streak, so they are a pretty cool team. And really quick, I have to give a shout-out to LoLPro.com. LoLPro.com is the website, one of the main sponsors of this event, the LoLPro Dominion Showdown. If you want... You should check out their guide section. They've done a lot of really cool things for Dominion. If you want to learn about Dominion and how to play those champions, how to build those champions, go to LoLPro.com, go to their main page, click on Pro Guides, and then from there, it will take you over to the section that has all of the guides in it. You can see it has the word Dominion in the title. You can mouse over them, and you can read the plain text on the screen. If you want your Lulu play to be so bannable that you don't get to use it in tournaments and have a 100% win rate with it like Zyra, go read the guide that he wrote. Zyra, the player with the 100% win rate with Lulu in competitive play, it's counterbanned against him every game because of how good it is. That champion's amazing. You can be amazing at that too if you go and read that guide. And also, do you guys want to know how to play Syndra? A lot of people laughed when Syndra came out, like, oh man, Syndra's underpowered. Oh no, Syndra will destroy people. Sauron's guide on Syndra can tell you how to do that. If you want to wreck multiple faces at once with Syndra, Sauron's guide is what you want to read. If you really enjoy Assassins, Lissandra, new champion, you want to get the info, you want to get up to speed on her, there you go. There's another guide. Sauron J4, he's the original J4. And Sauron Jax is still legendary to this day. Check that out. LoLPro.com. Click on Pro Guides and read until you run out of things to read. Maybe bookmark some stuff for quick reference later. Maybe keep the browser tab open in another window. So that way you can refer to it during the game. Great website, great people, great sponsors. Very happy to be working with them.
And these bans are already going out a lot faster than most of the games we see. Brandon Lulu banned. Lulu obviously against Zyra or Mad Supportal as it is now. You just got done explaining 100% win rate. He can't play it in tournaments, and these guys aren't about to let him start doing that. And they also banned Brand against Half-Hearted. We know that he is a very good Brand player, and we saw it last game as well. And they also banned Elise. So Elise is one champion that Painkiller plays more than most other people, but I'm not sure if someone on the side of Clueless plays a very good Elise. I don't know these players all that well, but from what I gauged in this tournament so far, Elise is still a very strong Dominion pick in the first place, so I can see that banned as well. Meanwhile, those are really targeted bans, but it almost forces Clueless into a point where they have to ban the generic OPs, Kassadin, Kha'Zix, and Nidalee, where those are champions that you don't want to let through no matter what. And at the same time...
Ooh!
Wow.
Zyra+Sona! I am percent hype.
And we also remember Commander Peoples on Sejuani earlier today too, always landing those great ultimates. And think about this, a Sejuani Glacial Prison followed up by Crescendo, that is so much early CC right at the beginning of the team fight. It's really hard to combat team fights against this comp, and let's hope it works out well for them.
And just to note about these bans, Lulu is a If there's someone who plays Lulu on the other team, you should probably ban that champion because she's very good. Brand is a really good champion. That's more of a target ban. If there's someone who's particularly an expert, like generic or half-hearted, you may consider banning it against them if you play against them in in-house or something like that. Elise, that is a really powerful character. People like to ban her because she's durable and she can really deliver the stuns. Kassadin, Kha'Zix, Nidalee. Nidalee's poke is just so powerful, and infeeds Nidalee is ridiculously good. So that's a combination of common ban plus counter ban together that they want to kick that out. Infeed's also a very good Teemo player. He also plays a pretty awesome Nasus. Kha'Zix and Kassadin, the two best assassins in the game mode. Kassadin with that silence, that's absolutely brutal. And his ability to chase, engage, escape, whichever. Rift Walk, where did Kassadin go? You're not entirely sure, but you know he can come back, hit you with a Null Sphere, silence you, slow you afterward, and then destroy you. Watch out for that. Kha'Zix, Evolved Leap. Kha'Zix with resets can just chain chomp Pac-Man his way down your team if you are not careful. And the other thing to note about Kha'Zix is Kha'Zix deals so much damage up front to a single target that he either A, kills them outright, or B, forces them out of the fight because their health is too low for them to be effective.
Yeah, and looking at this so far, we have Bop hovering over Sivir again. He locks it in as well. I personally would like to see him play a little bit more Vayne this game, but there is a little bit of more carry diving potential between Carnival on Nidalee and Painkiller on Wukong, so that is a possibility as well. We might see a Lissandra. 1 second left on the timer. Let's see if that is locked in. Yes, it is. So we are going to see a Lissandra, and that is just going to completely complement this already heavy teamfight comp that they have going for them. Lissandra, that is a really cool pick. I know a lot about her in Summoner's Rift. Don't really have too much experience on Dominion, but seeing as Dominion's all about skirmishes, I think it's going to be a pretty good pick due to the amount of lockdown she has, as well as some of the big AoE damage on her ultimate.
And one thing to note, there's no Jace ban, there's no Jace pick yet. Infeed can play a seriously good Jace, but I don't know if he's got practice with that, if he has practice with that champion anymore because of how long it's been since he had an opportunity to use him. The ban format for the Dominate Dominion tournaments that Kha'Zix Shout Sport plays in is 10% of all champions. So it is currently at 10. It may go up to 12 soon, but we haven't finalized, or they haven't finalized that idea. But that was to take out some of the champions that were poorly balanced between maps and still leave room for counter banning. But with map-specific balance changes, that may become less necessary in the future. You may not have to have custom ban limits over there. Only time will tell. So there's not going to be a Jace pick. And there's going to be a Nocturne pick. Ooh, this is really interesting. I like this. Okay. See, Eve over on there, Painkiller's probably going to end up with that, right? Maybe? We're going to see Painkiller Evelynn. Yes! Painkiller's Evelynn is a great Evelynn. Infeed's Rammus is good. And the other guys, well, they play those champions. Oh, Infeed not going to play Rammus. Infeed going to play Wukong. I've seen Infeed play Rammus, and I've seen it be good. But I haven't seen Infeed play a lot of Wukong. At least not that stuck out in my brain. Of course, maybe I've only seen him play Rammus twice, too, but it was really memorable. Either way, Painkiller Evelynn, that's what I have my eye on. He wrote a guide for Evelynn. So if Painkiller sweeps this game and is a complete terror, then you can find out how to play just like him by going to his guide on LoLPro.com and reading it.
I saw that coming as well. It is a very good guide site. Now, looking at some of the final picks, we have Yorick and Zyra. So Zyra is going to be going on to Sailor Moonberry again. We saw it in the last game. Doing very well with Zyra. Let's continue that doing well streak. I'm not sure if that is exactly the right phrase to use for that, but I want to go back to the Yorick pick for a little bit. To me, it seems like it would actually be a pretty strong pick on Dominion because of that extra. Even though someone dies, you can revive them, and on someone like Painkiller's Evelynn, that could be really useful. You could also put it on someone like Wukong, just one of these champions that are meant to play some of these sustained fights. Shed us a little bit more light on that.
Repeat that last part for a second. My audio cut out, and I missed it.
I was just talking about how Yorick can use his ultimate on sort of a tankier...
Oh, yes.
A champion that stays in fights for a long time, as well as does damage, like Wukong or Evelynn, especially since Painkiller's Evelynn.
Yes, Yorick's ultimate synchronizes very well with attack damage characters, and I'd say more the Wukong than the Evelynn, actually, because you want someone who's still going to have some staying power while they are revived by Omen of Death. So Evelynn, maybe not quite as good a choice, but hey, if it's the only thing close, take it, kind of thing. But if you had the option, I would say you definitely want to slap that on Wukong. Painkiller, though, more likely to do ganks down the bottom lane. We're probably going to see Yorick bot. That's typically where we see him at. He only goes top very occasionally. He's an okay champion up there, but he does better in the bottom lane because there's better champions for Yorick's role top lane than Yorick. But if you're a good Yorick player, hey, whatever. But I expect Yorick bottom, Painkiller to come down and do the ganks. We'll probably see a couple Omen's Death on her. But if you had to pick, yeah, you're definitely right about that.
Yeah, so looking around the map, Clairvoyance, one of them is on the side of Clueless, whereas Pei's Evelynn Child Support does not have any Clairvoyance at all. They decided to actually put a cleanse onto Wukong, which might actually hint a little bit more at the fact that Wukong in these later engagements might actually ult him as well, so that he can stay alive for as long as he possibly can, and that'll be very good on him. So, what do you think about the fact that Pei's Evelynn Child Support didn't go for a Clairvoyance? Is that a good choice? Is it a bad choice?
Well, I don't know why there's a cleanse on Wukong, but so I can't. I have no idea about that. I just noticed that one there. The Clairvoyance is a totally optional thing because Eve will get a Hextech Sweeper. Wukong will get a Grez's Lantern. That's 2 vision items there. Moonberry will probably also get a Sweeper. So you have 1, 2, 3 vision items in your build pretty early on. The Sweeper is amazing because of that movement speed. It's AP is sort of the meta right now in Dominion because of Blackfire Torch and Sweeper. Sweeper for movement speed, Blackfire Torch for that dot damage. 2 amazing items. You put those together, you get 25% CDR. It's great. It's a great time to be an AP hero in Dominion.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. So we're getting into the loading screen right now, so we can see a little bit more as to what skins these guys are running, because some people are pretty entertained by that. But more importantly, we can also plug some of the sponsors here. We are sponsored by Curse, LoLPro, Reina Gaming, and Leakpedia. Those are the guys who are bringing you this amazing tournament that we've been seeing so far, and amazing is the right word to use, I have to say.
Yeah, this has been so awesome from day one, from the opening game to those amazing consolation matches, and now here in the finals, seeing some very well executed play from Pei's Evelynn Child Support. Their map positioning in that last game was just so crisp. It was very refreshing to be able to see that. We'll go ahead and introduce these 2 teams here. This is going to be Finals Game 2. Pei's Evelynn Child Support is currently up 1-0 in this series. And we have Pei's Evelynn Child Support in-feed playing as Wukong, Painkiller playing as Evelynn, Carnival playing as Rammus, Confidarius playing as Yorick, and Sailor Moonberry playing as Zyra. I am one half of your commentators. I am Gandair, and co-commentating with me this event is
Azaraki, or Azaraki Dragon, either one. But rounding out the other half of the players today, we have on the side of Clueless, Commander Peoples. He will be playing Sejuani. Mad Supportal, aka Zyra on Sona. Half-Hearted playing Lissandra Beep Beep Bop on Sivir. Wolfer is rounding out the comp on Nocturne. Now, we haven't really talked about Nocturne too much yet, but I can imagine that the global darkness sort of thing is going to help out in Dominion quite a bit. Say he's going to want to make something happen. Say he coordinates with his team saying, alright, I'm going to use my ult, take a fight in the next 2 or 3 seconds. They can coordinate that really well to the point where the vision basically suffocates Pei's Evelynn Child Support and wins the fight for them.
Yes, that is absolutely right. I have seen some of the shorter ranged 80 carries. In particular, this happened with Vayne in a tournament once. Another member of Pei's Evelynn Child Support who's actually not present in this game, Panzers, is a great Nocturne player. And once in a tournament, he was not in range to Paranoia anything, but he hit Paranoia, and then Vayne lost vision on her target and escaped. And then that target went around, grabbed a health relic, swung down, ganked bot, killed it, and forced a response down the bottom lane. All because Vayne could not secure that kill because she did not have vision because of Nocturne's Paranoia. That was so cool to see. And that vision range reduction, when you have such a clustered map like this, will occasionally cut off some of those line of sight avenues.
Alright, and taking a look at this, so far the early game builds, some people haven't really built anything yet, but for the most part we see Prospector's Blades, Prospector's Rings, you know, that's fairly standard. And we also have a Kindle Gem for Sejuani, so also pretty standard. Like, I don't really see her building a Prospector's Ring or Prospector's Blade. The Kindle Gem just helps her out more so with that, giving her a little bit of health for tankiness, and also the cooldown reduction, which is something that you really want in terms of a tank. And being a tank in general, your point is to soak damage and make it so that people don't just ignore you. And the way you don't get ignored as a tank is either you do a lot of damage, and that's someone like Singed can do a lot of damage, where if you completely ignore him and act like he isn't there, you're going to be stepping in poison the entire time, and he's going to deal a ton of damage. And on top of that, he has CC. But one little bit more pressing matter is getting CDR so that you can make sure that all of your CC abilities are on shorter cooldowns. Because if you just ignore a tank who has a lot of great CC like Sejuani, then you're going to find yourself, hey, why can't I move? And it's all going to be because of that cooldown reduction that Sejuani has, but Carnival is going in for a very early initiation, taunting Commander Peoples. However, that's going to allow Bebop to land a great Boomerang Blade. Commander Peoples now trying to retreat. Painkiller is the one being chased right now, half-hearted, trying to do her best to kill it, but no, Painkiller secures the kill, and Commander Peoples tries to go and help, but it looks like he will go down as well. Sailor Moonberry is the first one to die on the side of... it looks like Kha'Zix child support, and at this point, Infeed going to kill... No, not quite going to kill Bebop. The last Nimbus Strike not up yet, but it's going to be back up fairly soon. Half-Hearted is back into the fight. He's going to try to kill Painkiller, and just, yes, he's going to be able to do it. Infeed trying to kill Bebop once again, but Commander Peoples is back and able to secure that kill as well.
And the top part of the map, Sailor Moonberry versus the role. He just wants to keep this point neutral. He wants to delay as long as he can. Moonberry cannot win that fight. That's not important. The tower being neutral is important because Carnival has been able to arrive. Now Painkiller Evelynn is here as well. And that's all Moonberry needed to do was delay on that point for a backup to arrive. Didn't need to win the fight, just had to drag it out. And now Zyra falls half-hard. Looks like he's going to go down shortly thereafter to Painkiller. Commander Peoples forced away from the point. Sivir, the only one left to defend currently. Carnival dives in, pops the spell shield. Flash in from BB Pop. Oh dear, BB Pop may be able to get away now. Painkiller's Evelynn does get picked off down in the jungle. Now Infeed and Blueberry at the top point. Moonberry still alive, but low on mana. Can't contribute too much. Infeed does manage to sweep Sejuani, but I don't know if they have what it takes to take out Mad Supportal. Oh dear, Moonberry, the crescendo! Supportal taking down Zyra, and Wukong picking up the kill there, and Zyra with the plants picking up the kill on Sivir just below that.
Big piece of unfortunate for the for Team Clueless right there. Commander Peoples actually completely whiffed his ultimate on Sejuani, so that Glacial Prison hit nobody, which was something that would have turned the fight in my opinion. But in the bot lane, Confitarius is going to be taken down very quickly, and there goes the kill, and Wolfer is going to be able to take back this bottom tower. And in the meantime, it's still going to be a 3-2, so already Kha'Zix child support in control of the majority of the points in this game. They're going to help take down Clueless's Nexus health, so we'll have to see how the rest of the game goes for them. But at the moment, both teams, as you said before, Kha'Zix and child support, they're all in the mid lane. They're all in the jungle. They want to make sure that Clueless is absolutely clueless as to where they are. That's basically what they're doing, and that is the correct way to just hold 3 points and win, because you never know when you could get initiated on, since there is no vision on the inside of the map.
And if you're sitting on a tower trying to defend there, you're effectively a sitting duck for a minion push, or you're showing where you are so you can freely gank the bottom lane. And in the bottom part of the map, looks like Lissandra is going to go for Yorick along with Nocturne in the lower half of it. Confidar taking a lot of damage, is going to get taken down, uses his revive immediately to get back. Meanwhile, at the drill, things going differently over there. The assault on the point. The Sivir is being chased and forced back away from it. Sejuani breaks away to go for the windmill. It's going to force someone away from that point to have to move up to the top. And it looks like Rammus is heading in that direction.
And in the meantime, it looks like Evelynn Child Support will stay in control of the drill, and they captured it as well, getting the damage bonus. That's going to help them clean up this fight. Double kill for Wukong. There goes the Paranoia, however. No one's able to see anything on the map, and he's going to be able to pick up a kill onto Painkiller, and a double kill, finishing it up with infeed, and it looks like Sailor Moonberry is now getting caught up by that Boomerang Blade. But meanwhile, in the top lane, we still have this heated fight between Carnival and Commander Peoples. Commander going back into it, and Half-Hearted's here as well. That is surely going to secure the kill onto Carnival. He's going to get taken down, and it looks like the Windmill, the last point of contesting, Clueless is going to be able to take that back in their favor, and it looks like they're also going to be able to take the drills. So for maybe a minute or so, they'll be able to have a 4-cap. Pretty big for them. They might be able to use that to get back into the game. However, there is still a 60 health difference between both Nexuses.
60 health difference in Nexus is not too big of a deal. I'd say anything less than 100, you want to go, this is not very good. You want to be mindful about it, but don't freak out too much, because that's still a fair amount of Nexus health to play with unless you go below 100. And Peoples connecting with Moonberry takes tons of damage on Moonberry. Great crescendo from Zyra+Sona. Infeed exhausted, his damage output very limited, and another follow-up airborne on Painkiller as well. Painkiller cannot escape, and Zyra just, yes, gets it! He wanted to get in close in with Zyra and take her out. He's going to take the damage from the passive of Zyra, but he still got some capture in the process. And they won that engagement. They could not get the tower, but they still defended the top point in the process by just moving back over to it.
And the revive from Confedarius' ultimate going to help him try to kill Wolfer. Unfortunately, I think it might run out. And there it goes. It's going to run out. However, at this point, all 3 members who have died in the early fights, and soon to be 4, Sailor Moonberry is now up. They are all alive for Evelynn Child Support, so they have the pushing power, they have the team fight power, and let's see if they can do anything with that. They want to take the Windmill back, and they want to try to force that slow, choking death where they basically hold those 3 points and make sure that they never lose any of those. They do want to try to take the Storm Relic in the middle of the map, and Infeed might be able to do that. No, Mad's Portal is scaring him off of that. Very long range Qs on Sona, so that will help scare him in that. But Commander Peoples going in for the bot lane. Painkiller, oh no, those minions might be able to secure it, and oh wow, no, they're all dead right before the cap happens, and Wolfer is taken down as well. He's very low. Oh, he might be able to escape though, as Infeed tries to go in for it. His ultimate speeds him up, but there goes the health relic. Yes, he will be able to kill Wolfer, and at this point, Painkiller is staying back. He's going to be able to take that. And all the meanwhile, Sailor Moonberry has been in the top lane uncontested. Probably just went up there through the jungle. No one saw him go up there, and able to take this back to 3-2. And even though they sort of lost that fight, they still come out ahead in terms of the amount of points they captured.
I don't think that Supportal and BB Pop were aware that the melee minion, the big melee minion, captured the tower during that engagement, because they did not split someone back away from it to deal with Painkiller capturing it. They could have held on to that tower for a little bit longer. And Lissandra is showing up to deal with Moonberry. Moonberry being destroyed, encased, entombed. I'm not sure what you want to call the effect of Lissandra's ult, but entombed sounds pretty good to me. Wolfer having to deal with Confedarius, Omen of Death, has been activated, and using the Paranoia, Wolfer now has to run away from Painkiller's Evelynn. And she's a pretty fast champion. She can keep up with Wolfer. Infeed cutting around from the back. Ooh, good use of the spell shield. Buys a little bit extra time. Glacial Prison lands. Sejuani able to deliver herself into the fight and cannot save Nocturne, however.
Oh, it looks like Clueless might be able to get back into it as Commander CC's Wukong just long enough for Zyra, aka Mad's Portal, to secure the kill right there. And all the meanwhile, BB Bop taking the Storm Relic. That's really good on a player like BB Bop, who really just wants to stay alive throughout the entire fight and do as much damage as possible. Carnival popping Tremor to try to 1v1 command Peoples. Sailor Moonberry is now here to try to initiate back onto the fight. There goes the Sivir ultimate. They were able to pop it, and it looks like they're just going to wait it out at the moment. That's a very good play right there, making sure that the ultimate is down for whatever next fight they decide to pull. And now that all 5 members of both teams are up, we're going to see a pretty big team fight, and it's probably going to stay around the top lane. But, ooh, Lissandra juking around with her claw right there. But, oh no, there goes the initiation infeed, doing quite a bit of damage as well as knocking up both Supportal and Commander Peoples. Half-Hearted being chased right now, and it looks like Painkiller is going to try her best to do something about that. But Beep Beep Bop is up in the top lane. She's going to be able to solo quite a few people. There goes the Zyra ultimate, just long enough to CC her and secure the kill. However, the rest of the Team Clueless are able to take that in their favor as well. So, unfortunately, the Clueless can still back them off of the tower, and they are still 3 towers ahead to 2. So, they're still in command of this game, and right now, I think Kha'Zix Child Support, you know, they need to start winning some of these big team fights with enough people to start capturing points, because even if they win a team fight, sometimes it's not enough to go push afterwards. In the bot lane, Carnival is going to try to win this team fight, as Wilfer and Commander Peoples are getting chased out quite a bit.
And with Evelynn, they don't know Evelyn's there yet. Evelynn showing up to the fight. She has been tagged and revealed by Wolfers. They know that she is there now. Commander Peoples immediately turns his attention to Painkiller. He knows how dangerous Evelynn can be, so the second that she was revealed, he turned all of his attention to her and started ignoring Rammus. Wolfer backed off because he knew he'd be very easy to finish off, and they clean up that fight. Double kill for Nocturne down the bottom. Double kill for Lissandra up in the top part of the map. Moonberry back with the revive immediately. Has to use that to defend that tower.
And unfortunately, it doesn't look like he will be able to defend the tower. It's neutralized, but they're still trying to kill Half-Hearted, and they managed to do it successfully, so they're going to be able to save this tower as it stands, but that's still 4 caps to what will be won as soon as this is done. And it looks like Carnival and Confederates in the bot lane, they're taking back the quarry as well, so it's going to be 3-2 once again, but they need to make something happen, and it looks like they will be able to get to the windmill before Team Clueless can, so that's going to help them out quite a bit. They're going to be able to, yeah, I think they'll be able to successfully capture this. Ew, it depends. They have the speed relic. Carnival running interference, though. Great play by him, making sure that nobody continues to try to get that tower. However, Wolfer diving in the back line. Very good job by him. Infeed trying to kill Bebop, but Bebop has a spell shield and it's just too strong right now. And oh wow, Clueless winning this fight very convincingly. Carnival can't really do anything about it, trying to taunt Wolfer doing as much damage as possible, but that's just not going to happen as they get completely destroyed right there. 4-for-0 trade. And it looks like that tower will go back in the favor of Clueless.
Nocturne's presence there was very helpful in that engagement. Nocturne using his paranoia, moving up the map in order to be able to close in on that, because Lissandra was not available to help in that fight. So what happened was Nocturne effectively traded with Lissandra by going up to the top with paranoia. Lissandra came down to bail out the Boneyard while Nocturne was gone to defend against Yorick, and Nocturne used his immediate presence up top in order to turn that fight more favorably for them. Very good play by Wolfer on Nock there.
Half-Hearted trying to use Entomb, but wow, very quickly killed by the amount of burst damage Zyra has. They're really trying to make a play down for this bottom tower at the Boneyard, but unfortunately Half-Hearted is back in the fight, used Revive, and at this point Carnival is popping his ultimate, trying to do as much damage. There goes the Stranglethorns. Might not be enough, however. Carnival's still staying alive throughout all of this, but it's not going to be enough, and unfortunately, even though the top windmill was neutralized, it's just not going to be enough to secure that. So, this is a really intense match, but I think Kha'Zix Child Support might actually lose this one, and they may take it to a game 3.
Like, Clueless is a team that has shown consistency in being able to put up a fight against Kha'Zix Child Support. Although, unfortunately, they seem to win games, but not series against them. So I really hope that they can take this into a game 3 and get a chance to take that first place victory from Kha'Zix Child Support. It would be very interesting to see them with a first place finish in this 2-day event. And Glacial Prison! Excellent position! The Boomerang Blade hits everyone! Crescendo follow-up, completely shutting them down.
Oh wow, and the entire time, we do have to say that we had Carnival going to cap that top lane, but the Stranglethorns is not up, so they're not going to be able to use that for the next fight. Carnival getting stunned right there, or snared by Half-Hearted. Carnival, he's popping his Tremor. There might be a team fight here, but Wolfer is in here as well. This is certainly going to be a fight going into the favor of Clueless. A double kill for Wolfer, going to try to kill Infeed at this point. They are not fooled by the shot, by the clone right there, and Infeed is going to try to go back and kill Beep Bop, but there goes a triple kill for Wolferer, and he's going to do very well right there. They're going to cap top tower again, And wow, Clueless is looking really strong in this game.
And Commander Peoples babysitting the bottom point while Wolfer was away. Wolfer returning now to it. Looks like they're going to use this opportunity to make a play to kill Confidarius. Wolfer has been very, very good about using his Ravenous Hydra activatable ability and using that at the beginning of every single fight, because the earlier you use it, the sooner you can use it again in engagement. So don't be afraid to hit that button.
And Bebop is now trying to kill Painkiller, and that will be a very quick kill. Lissandra picks that up with Entomb. But they will secure the windmill once again. Let's see if they can hold it, is the big question right here. There is still everyone up for Team Clueless, and Nocturne is still ready to re-engage from the bottom lane. Carnival popping his Powerball. And, oh wow, it looks like Clueless is going for a play onto the quarry. They have 3 people there against a lone Yorick. This is not looking good for him. A lot of CC, and he's not even going to be able to pop his ultimate right there. Well, his ultimate was down, so that's part of the reason for that. But Painkiller, a great Glacial Prison again, and they're going to be able to turn this fight around so quickly. Carnival getting destroyed right there. Commander Peoples and Wolfer are so low, but they're not going to die. And meanwhile, in the top lane, they're still trying to take this tower, but we see Kha'Zix Child Support. They are doing a pretty good job of defending it, but now it is still 3-2 in terms of those tower differences.
I like the part where Nocturne actually turned around to kill the minions, because the minions will kill you. If you're capturing a tower and you just let them auto-attack you, you will die. It'll happen. Be afraid of that. Nocturne actually had the presence of mind to turn around and pop those very, very quickly. Very helpful for him and Sejuani being able to survive that. Finding Infeed in the middle of the map, has the fear tethered on him. Pops that, but gets taunted for his trouble. Painkiller comes down, looking to finish Wolfer off, and is able to help do so. Half-Heart appears now, starts unloading on Carnival immediately, but they have to break off. And they have some Nexus health to play with. Kha'Zix Child Support has been reduced down to 85 Nexus health. So now Clueless is ahead by a pretty fair margin.
And they really are. Painkiller now getting caught out. There goes the ultimate from Sejuani. And that will be a very quick kill onto Painkiller. Unfortunately, Painkiller's Evelynn can't really stand up too much against Commander Peoples playing the Sejuani in this game. We have had a lot of great Glacial Prisons once again. And it looks like an Entomb from Lissandra going to kill. And there is a quick kill onto Confidarius. And Wolfer is going to be able to solo the clone as well, so he's not going to be able to make anything happen with the clone. And in the top lane, Carnival is chasing down Bebop once again. And Infeed helping him out. There goes a little bit. Oh, they're going to be able to secure the kill. And Madsaportal is trying to do her best to survive under this tower. Commander Peoples is here as well, so you shouldn't really have too much problem with this. However, there are 4 members of Kha'Zix Child Support in this top lane. They might be able to take this fight back into their favor. Commander Peoples' ultimate is down. That is something that they want to fight in. Half-Hearted going to be taken down very low. There goes one last auto attack. It's not enough as Commander People goes back into the fight, trying to CC in Carnival, soloing Wolfer, and Wolfer taking a lot of tower damage. However, not be enough. All 5 of them are up in the top lane, and they take almost a full-on ace right there.
The immediate recall from a couple of people to defend the push from Yorick. Wolfer once again bailing out the fight at top. Wolfer has been doing a very good job with his Nocturne, delivering it into fights, and then someone or himself recalling immediately afterward, heading straight down to the Boneyard in order to save that from becoming captured by the enemy team. Clueless now in charge of 3 points once again in this game. Nocturne everywhere.
Nocturne is literally everywhere. Wolfer doing a great job on that Nocturne, and he's really showing the fact that Nocturne is scary because of the presence that he has all around the entire map. He's getting initiated on once again, Confidarius, but unfortunately he's just running into Commander Peoples and Wolfer, both very tanky, also doing quite a bit of damage, and there's nothing he can do about that. Fearing the clone as well, and that'll be the end of him. So they're going to be able to take this tower as well. The windmill has gone into the favor of Kha'Zix Child Support. This isn't a lost game. They're really going to have to secure these points and take it back, but it is looking bleaker and bleaker as an outcome for Kha'Zix Child Support. Clueless now taking this tower as well. The refinery is neutralized. Oh, an Entomb and a Glacial Prison. There goes the rest of that attempt, and it looks like Clueless, they're going to be able to take 4, maybe 4 towers on top of this. And that is just too bad for Kha'Zix Child Support. We'll take it to a game 3, however, and I know that...
Wow, Clueless looking very dominant in the later portion of this game. Bebop is going to secure this tower. It's going to put them at a 4.5 cap, and Nocturne literally everywhere, keeps this point neutral as well in order to bleed out their Nexus health even faster. Peoples may not have won that engagement 1v1, but Nock was able to come up and quickly sweep Wukong off of the point. 5 cap in favor of Clueless against Pays Evelynn Child Support, and we get to go to a Game 3.
Oh my god, this is a very, very great series, and I honestly can't wait to see the third game. There goes a victory for Clueless. They were looking like the strong ones in that game. Now, not as convincing a victory as Pays Evelynn Child Support had in the first game, but still 217-0. It's still a fairly strong margin, and I think they ended right there with a 5 cap, so that is going to be a very strong play by them. So this Game 3 is going to be a very, very interesting one. Now, quick shout out to our sponsors, Curse, LoLPro, Reign of Gaming, and Leaguepedia. And we will be right back after a quick commercial break.